All right, y'all. Okay, Ms. Zotter is here doing some guided practice with multiplying fractions. So this is available to you on Seesaw, or you could print it directly off the link on Moodle. So it's up to you. All right, let's look at number 1 here. And you may want to have your Math Interactive notes out with you as well. So we have 3/8 times 4. Well, we have to turn this 4 into a fraction by putting it over 1. So when I rewrite it, so I can see it a little more clearly, it would be 3/8 times 4 over 1. And if you look crisscross between the 8 and 4, you'll notice that you can simplify by dividing out 4. So 4 divided by 4 would give you 1. 8 divided by 4 would give you 2. So your multiplication problem will now say 3 times 1 across the top and 2 times 1 across the bottom, leaving you with 3 over 2, which we can then simplify into a mixed number fraction. Now notice I went ahead and wrote the denominator of my fractional piece there because that's not going to change. Then I asked myself, how many times can 2 fit into 3 evenly? And that's 1 time. So 2 times 1 would give you 2. And then you have 1 left over to get to 3. So that is my numerator. So your final answer is 1.5. Let's look at the next one. We're going to do the same exact steps. Make sure you turn your whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. So I will be doing 7 over 1 times 3 over 9. This time, unfortunately, I do not have anything to cross simplify. Now, some people may have noticed that you could have simplified that first fraction before you started, but that's okay if you didn't. We'll just simplify at the end. So then you're multiplying straight across. So 7 times 3 would give you 21. 1 times 9 would give you 9. And then we ask ourselves, how many times can 9 fit evenly into 21? If you said twice, you are correct. So my whole number is 2, because 9 can fit into 21 evenly twice. I keep my denominator for my fractional piece. 9 times 2 is 18. And then you have 3 more to get to 21. Now notice you can divide out a 3 out of your fraction, so don't forget to do that. Making my final answer 2 and 1/3, because 3 divided by 3 would give you 1. 9 divided by 3 would give you 3. Making your final answer 2 and 1/3. All right. Number 3, not much is going to change. Put that whole number over 1. So that is 3 over 1 times 3/8. I cannot cross simplify anywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and multiply straight across the top and the bottom. So 3 times 3 would give you 9. 1 times 8 would give you 8. And now I just have to create my mixed number. So you ask yourself, how many times can 8 fit into 9 evenly? Just once. I keep my denominator. My pieces don't change sizes, so you always keep the same denominator. 8 times 1 is 8, leaving you with 1 more little piece to get to 9. With your final answer being 1 1/8. Last but not least, we have 3/4 times 8 over 1. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that. Alrighty. So I look crisscross to see if I can simplify it all, and I can. I could divide out a 4. So 4 divided by 4 would give you 1. 8 divided by 4 would give you 2. So now I am multiplying straight across. 3 times 2, since I simplified, and 1 times 1, leaving you with 6 over 1, or fully simplified, just 6. So let's look at this word problem. Move that up a little bit. A stonemason named Ernie needs 3/8 tons of stone to build a stone wall. How many, that's a little typo there, my bad. How many tons of stone does he need to build 6 walls? So Ernie is going to be building 6 walls, and each wall takes 3/8 tons of stone. So that's saying that it's 3/8 plus 3/8 6 times. And we know that multiplication is repetitive addition. Now, obviously, you don't have to do it this way every time, but I think this is an excellent visual because you will get the same answer no matter what. I just want to make sure that we understand that this is what is actually happening. So that is the same as 3/8 times 6. So I'm going to rewrite my whole number as a fraction over 1. I'm going to go ahead and look crisscross to see if I can simplify it all. And I see here between 8 and 6, well, if they're both even numbers, I know I can divide out a 2. 8 divided by 2 would give you 4. 6 divided by 2 would give you 3. Now I multiply straight across. 3 times 3, which would give you 9. And then across the bottom would be 4 times 1, or 4, for my final denominator. And then go ahead and turn it into a mixed number. So 4 can fit into 9 evenly 2 whole times. I'm not going to change my denominator. Gonna go ahead and write it right there. 4 times 2 gives you 8, and you have 1 left over to get to 9. And you'll notice if you add across the top, you get 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 6 times. So you should get 18 over 8. And when you simplify that, 8 fits into 18 evenly twice. I'm going to still keep my denominator of 8. 8 times 2 is 16, and it's 2 left over to get to 18. And when you simplify that, you would get 2 1/4. Now, you don't have to do it both ways every time. I just did that for example purposes, so you can kind of see what's happening there. All right, last but not least, Jackie is a drummer who is baking cupcakes for her birthday party. She needs to triple the recipe. How much of each ingredient does she need? Now, I am not going to do every single one of these. I am going to choose one to do for now. But that is exactly what you would do if you were actually trying to triple a recipe, is you would take each ingredient for one serving, and to triple it, you would multiply by 3. So let's see what we need to do for the vanilla extract. So that is 9/5, which is an improper fraction, which is like a mixed number already made improper, times 3. And I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 over 1. All right. So I cannot cross simplify. I can only multiply straight across. 9 times 3 will give you 27. 5 times 1 would give you 5. And now we need to turn this into a mixed number. 5 can fit into 27 evenly 5 whole times. I'm not going to change my denominator. Once again, 5 times 5 will give you 25. And you have 2 left over to get to 27. So your new measurement for vanilla extract would be 5 2/5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So teaspoons. And just so we can clarify here, the original amount, if we want to make this a little bit more clear, was 5 can fit into 9 one time. And 5 times 1 is 5, with 4 left over to get to 9. So if you look at your answer, we went from 1 4/5 to 5 2/5. And if you estimate, this answer makes sense. This is a little more than 1 1/2. We could really almost say, let's just say 2, if we round it up and round it correctly. Times 3 would get you almost to 6, which we're almost to 6 with 5 2/5. Little less than half. All right, and that does it for the guided practice. And you have a choice for your homework. You can either do practice AB, which is level 1. So you can do practice AB, or you can do practice C, which is a level 2. It's a little bit harder, so it is up to you. Now, one thing I wanted to point out that you notice on your practice maybe already is that they use dots for multiplication. That is no different than an X. It still means to just multiply. And that does it, friends. So good luck on your homework. I know you'll rock it. And you can always go back and watch this video if you need some help. Have a good day.